So it seems logical that if you watch lectures at 2 times speed, you're going to get through the lectures twice as fast. And you'll have twice as much time to do whatever you want. But I'm going to tell you why not only is it going to reduce your productivity with speeding up the lecture speed, the watch time, but also how it can actually negatively affect your understanding of the material. So like you, and like many others, I thought it would be a smart idea to play them at 2 times speed, or at a faster speed than normal, all lectures. But the first reason why I think it's not a good idea is more of like a mentality reason. Okay. If you're playing it at 2 times speed, I think in general, you're being lazy. That was always my case. And I think it's because we just want to get done with the lecture as quick as possible. And if I played at 2 times speed, I'm done earlier. But if you come into a lecture with that kind of mentality, you're setting yourself up for failure because you're really just trying to get through it. When the whole purpose of going through a lecture is to understand and solidify information that you need to know, it's way better to come into the lecture well prepared and deciding that you are going to sit down and do a certain amount of time, and if it goes over, it doesn't matter. Okay? You're not trying to beat I mean, sometimes you do have to be on a time schedule and you have to spend a certain amount of time on certain lectures, but it's okay to go over. It's okay to go longer on something than you had planned because obviously you need to work on it. So, that's the first reason. So the second reason why I think it's not a good idea is that you're either going to A, miss some really important information, and granted, almost all information in lectures is important because you're getting the synthesized version already. And B, and this is what happened to me multiple times, was that, yeah, you're going through it faster, but I had to rewind it multiple times so that I could understand what they're saying. This is even more true if the lecturer has an accent, or they use some vocabulary from a different country that's not quite the same way I would say something. And so I was like, what's going on? I'd have to replay it. And in doing that, you end up spending more time than if you just watched it at regular speed. Very inefficient if you're doing this. This is ridiculous. Now, when is it an okay reason to speed up the lectures? Well, the first reason is that the lecturer is a slow speaker. Some lecturers just lecture a little bit slower than others. Like their talking voice is super slow, and if you speed it up to 1.5, that sounds like a regular speed of a normal person. So that's an okay reason. But in general, most lectures in medical school are condensed already. They're trying to fit a ton of information in a very short period of time. So it sounds like they're already rushing from the beginning. Another reason is if the material that you're covering is something that you know quite well and that you've reviewed before, and that this lecture that you're listening to is more like review. That was the case for me occasionally, especially with anatomy stuff. So it was kind of a break that I could go a little faster. But even then, I would still have to slow down. So I think in general, it's a smarter idea to just keep it at 1 time speed, or maybe 1.25. I think those are the optimal speeds. Any faster than 1.25, I think you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Now, I think a lot of people are maybe going to disagree with me, but try it. Go slower. No one's going to want to go slower, but go slower. Honestly, just give yourself the opportunity to listen at a regular pace, and you'd be totally surprised of what you can actually retain. Because the whole point of going to a lecture is retaining and understanding material. So, you guys got this. Go kick some butt.